another fabulous person from the Death and Dying course. This is Rebecca, who I just love. Rebecca. Rebecca's got a really profound story that she actually fully went through a death from a very close person, from woe to go, and tell us about that.
Well, Karen would be very happy to be having this story shared, because her passion in life as a palliative care nurse was to give people the best death they could possibly have. And she was very compassionate towards, obviously, the dying person, but also the stories of the family and supporting their families. So to do this for her meant a great deal, yeah.
Because what we've actually been learning here the whole time is that you don't need to have any licensing to become a funeral celebrant or a funeral facilitator. Actually, the power is in our own hands, and we just organically have been trained to give it to the authorities, haven't we?
Yeah,
and
very
so,
true.
And so you actually knew this truth before doing this course through Karen.
We knew a bit about it, but we also had phone conversation, not myself, but Steve, Karen's son, had phone conversation with Zenith at the time. So even though we hadn't put a face to the name, there was this voice on the end of the phone leading us through every step of the way. So we understood what we needed to do legally and like all the paperwork and... so we kind of ticked all the boxes, and it made it really easy for us to go ahead and create the ceremony that we wanted, that best fitted Karen and us as a family.
So did Karen actually say to you, I want this music, I want this, all
We
that?
actually didn't have a funeral as such. Karen had cancer, and part of that cancer was in her brain. So there was a time when she took the turn between being able to function and then the time when everything went skew-if, and that was the decline, and that went for about 3 weeks from that turn. So she'd had communication with her son, but there was ceremony involved in everything we did along the way, and rather than having an actual funeral where we put a date out and anything, it was like the core crew, by that stage, you know, after everything we'd been through, we drove her to the crematorium in the coffin that we built for her. And the ceremonial side of it was very organic. It was like suddenly there'd be a moment presented where we would all be standing around. So I stepped into that role somehow of just trying to lead a bit of ceremony. Like if there was a circle present, I'd create something out of it, you know? Like if there was things that needed to be said and they couldn't find the moment to do it, I put the book in front of them with the pen where they could write the messages that went with her. It happened as it went along. So
yeah, you are an organic death walker. You are. So by doing this course, you're actually feeling into the possibility of going next level next weekend and actually learning how to be a funeral director.
Yeah, ceremony has always been important to me as a person. I think not just personally, but to help people integrate significant moments in their life where things come to pass, where certain ages pertain to something important in growing up, where any of those things, and I've been involved in little things along the way for friends, and without understanding why, you know, invited to help create those things. And I think as I'm getting older and more funerals I've been at, I'm seeing that there's a way of doing things that really helps people, I'm going to say integrate again, their bereavement and their experience around something and help them find some beauty in something that's also sad and, you know, all those things.
Absolutely. So finally, Rebecca, what would you say is your real light bulb moment of the Zenith Death and Dying workshop? Like, what has really touched you the most?
It's probably what I spoke about this morning, and I'd say I'm going to have light bulb moments after this as well as it all comes in. But just seeing, because of the experience between how we did my father's death and how we did Karen's death, there was just such a contrast in seeing how it affected people, which is what I was just saying before. But I would have to say that I'm touched by how it affects people and how they relate to what they perceive to be their shadow side. and how when you confront something that's often scary or they don't know how to look at it, like death, but opening up those conversations, opening up that doorway lets so much more life in for people. And I think that's what gives me the light bulb moment and makes me want to take it out into community and just plant little seeds for people, or hopefully have some answers where they've got questions, or that sort of thing.
You are a gorgeous Leo, lioness, and shining bright light, sister.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
So are you.
Thank you. We are loving the people at this course. It's like we're just like being able to talk about the wildest, deepest things, and being licensed to do it instead of like, it's fantastic, isn't it?
It's amazing. The people's stories here have all been incredible.
We love it.
We do love it.
Soon.